sails are set or stowed, and the way the yards, which are the horizontal spars hanging off the masts here, how they are positioned, yeah? So that's running rigging. We also have another kind of rigging which is called standing rigging, okay? Standing rigging, stand still, it's fixed. It's all this black stuff here, yeah? And that doesn't move, that stays in one place, and that holds up the two masts and a number of other bits of the ship, like the bowsprit, okay? So you've got running rigging, is the brown stuff, and standing rigging is generally speaking black. Okay, any questions so far? No. Okay, as I said, use the running rigging to control, set, and hand all the sails on board, and also move the yards around. Whenever you are working with on deck, setting a sail, hauling on a rope, anything like that, it's very important that you always have your harness on, okay? Because you might have to go up the mast in a hurry, and we don't want you to have to go off, find your harness, put it on, come back on deck, and then go up. We want you to always have your harnesses on when you're on deck, and then also if it's rough weather, you can be clipped on just so you're safe and nice and sort of controlled in the position that you're in. Okay? You'll be issued with your harnesses presently and shown how to use it. Is go up to it and feel it, and feel how much weight there is on it. See, this one's quite slack, it's kind of flapping about a bit. Obviously there's not a lot of weight on that, so you're quite safe to start getting hold of that, undoing it, getting ready to pull it or push it, or whatever you're going to do. Okay? Other lines you might find have a bit more weight on them, yeah? Like this one here, I can feel there's a bit of weight on that, it's trying to pull away from me. So you want to be a bit more conscious when you're working on a line, whether it's got weight on it, whether it's tight, or whether it's loose, like these, okay? Do you all understand that? What's the difference between that? Okay? If a line has a lot of weight on it, if it's very, very tight, then double check with your watch leader or me or one of the other crew before you start working on that line, because there's some very, very heavy things up the rigging. Some of the yards we lift up, they weigh up to 2.5 tons, right? So we don't want one of you to let go the wrong bit of rope and have 2.5 tons of metal that crash. It's called a pin rail, and around the mast there, it's exactly the same, but it's called a fife rail, okay? So you've got pin rail, fife rail, and a belaying pin, yeah, or just a pin. They're very heavy and they're very strong. When you do want to use a line, see how it's hanging on its pin in a nice big coil like this? First thing you do, lift up the coil and put it down on the deck. So you've got access to the pin and you're ready to use that, okay? When you put the coil on the deck, when you've got the coil and you're ready to put it on deck, make sure you put it with the loose ends underneath, yeah? So the loose end's at the bottom, and the end that's attached to the pin is on top. Hauling in on the rope, if you're pulling the rope, it'll fall in a nice spiral on top, and if you're pushing the rope away from you, it'll feed out nicely from the coil, yeah? That's very important. Off, the rope won't slip. If you do it like that, into a situation like that, where there's still one complete turn of rope right the way around the pin, okay? That's one turn of rope, right? So if we want you to work on a line, whether you're going to be pushing it or pulling it, we'll show you which line to work on, and then we'll say coils on deck, down to one turn, okay? So coils on deck, get your coil off, put it on deck with the free end underneath and the standing end up here on top, and then down to one turn, you get the pin so it looks like that. Can you all see that there, yeah? Okay, in this situation, as long as you hold onto the rope, it's not going to go anywhere, yeah? So you've still got a lot of friction around the pin and the pin rail, but you can still hold the rope. But if you want to ease it away or push it, and there's weight on it, you can push it like that, and it'll nice and controlled, smoothly run around the pin, okay? Get your rope ready to go like this. We'll tell you which ones you need to be on, and we'll tell you if you're hauling or easing. If you're hauling, some of the ropes you want to haul on your own, some of them you'll need 3, 4, 10, 12 people on them, okay? If you can do it on your own, get the rope either straight down like this, or more commonly around the pin like that. Bend your knees like this, keep your centre of gravity low, yeah? And then when we ask you to haul, all you need to do is lean away from the rope, keep your back straight, and stand up like that, yeah? So you've got the rope like that, bend your knees, and then you just stand up away from it like that. And you can see my back straight there, parallel with my knees, yeah, with my legs. And that means you're using your leg muscles, not your back or your arms, okay? Does everybody understand that? Any questions? Okay, right. If there's more than one of you,
means all the yards are braced sharp up to port side of the ship, okay? and this is the starboard side. And your job, and it's something we cannot do, it requires everybody on board to give a hand to do this, right? As you will remember. It requires everybody. The ship is deliberately labour intensive so that we can get 50 people doing things together. The whole idea is to get you working as a team. Okay? Now, would you like to stand in front because you're small?
Yeah.
Okay, and the big fella stand behind.
Like sit here.
Okay, any more small people hiding? No? Okay.
Thank you.
Maybe the boat crash. By the way, I will try to learn all your names during the trip. I won't succeed, but we will try. But as long as you remember my name, I'm Barry. Okay?
Barry.
Right. So, the ship at the moment is braced sharp up to port. Now, that means that we can sail the ship on a starboard tack, 2 degrees aft of the centre line. Do you understand that? So if you measure, take that as a straight line and then go 70 degrees round, that is as close as we can go to the wind. Okay? In fact, we could, with the wind the way it is at the moment, we could sail perfectly because it's a broad reach. The wind is blowing across the ship. Okay? We cannot sail the ship into the wind, but we can sail it anywhere downwind. So, you take 2 angles like that. This is the no-go area. Okay? Down there, we can sail it. Okay? So, when it comes to bracing the ship, a call will be put out on the public address system and you will hear hands to bracing stations. Now your watch leaders will allocate you your bracing stations. White watch have the midships part, isn't it? Yeah. You're on the 4 upper lower.
On the main course.
No.
Topsails.
So they're back here, are they?
Yeah,
Oh, you're back
yeah.
here. Sorry, this is where you are. You will be doing the 3 lower yards on the mainmast. Okay? And these are your braces here. 1, 2, 3. These lines coming down here. These are the braces. Okay? And when you hear the order hands to bracing stations, we do require everybody to come on deck. Right?